There have been some big movies that celebrate their anniversaries this month, but I didn't have room to squeeze them onto the schedule. Especially for this film, which recently celebrated its 20th anniversary not so long ago. But I'm finally about to bring it to you. What happens when three sibling orphans come to their new guardian's home and their new guardian happens to be an actor? Well, you're about to experience an unfortunate series that's about to occur. Here's my review of Lemony Snicket'S A Series of Unfortunate Events. This is Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Doyle, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 2004 black comedy adventure flick Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events, released by Paramount, directed by Brad Sibberling, from a screenplay by Robert Gorin, based on the first three novels of the book series, A Series of Unfortunate Events, which were The Bad Beginning, The Reptile Room, and The Wide Window by Lemony Snicket, the pen name of American author Daniel Handler, starring Jim Carrey along with Liam Aiken, Emily Browning, Timothy Spall, Catherine O'Hara, Billy Connolly, Cedric the Entertainer, Louis Guzman, Jennifer Coolidge, Meryl Streep, and Jude Law as the voice of Lemony Snicket himself. The film was released on December 17, 2004, which means I'm just a week over, just a little bit of a week late. But anyway, now, oh yeah, and I also forgot this was also from DreamWorks, who released it internationally. I must say, now it's been some time since I last saw this film, so bear with me. I am going to say this film is pretty good and what have you, but I can understand why it had some issues, but still good though. Here we go. In a clock tower, investigator Lemony Snicket begins writing a documentation of the whereabouts of the Baudelaire children: 14-year-old inventor Violet, her 12-year-old bibliophile brother Klaus, and their mordacious 2-year-old youngest sister Sunny. One day, the children are orphaned when a mysterious fire destroys their mansion, killing their parents. Mr. Poe, the family banker, manages their affairs and leaves them in the care of Count Olaf, a nefarious stage actor intent upon secretly obtaining their family fortune, which will remain in the custody of the bank until Violet turns 18. Olaf forces them to do heavy chores and belittles them. Driving back from the court where Olaf has legally obtained custody of the kids, he stops to go into a general store, leaving them locked in the car, parked on train tracks with a train heading toward them. Mr. Pope calls, and Violet tries to tell him that they were going to be hit by the train, but is unable to hear her due to him driving next to the train. The children divert the train by building a device to remotely activate the railroad switch. Mr. Poe arrives and takes them away, thinking that Olaf was allowing the kids to drive the car alone. The orphans are taken to Uncle Dr. Montgomery, Monty Montgomery, an eccentric herpetologist who treats them incredibly kindly. One day, Olaf arrives disguised as a new assistant, Stefano. The orphans attempt to warn Uncle Monty about Olaf's arrival, but he believes Stefano is after the incredibly deadly viper, a giant misnomer python. Sorry if I mispronounced that first word. In his laboratory that he discovered. Uncle Monty is discovered dead shortly after, and his death is blamed on the viper. Although the children are certain that Olaf murdered him, they are almost placed in Stefano's care by Mr. Poe, but Sonny proves his guilt by showing that the snake is harmless and Stefano escapes. Mr. Poe takes the children to their Aunt Josephine, a grammar obsessed widow with panphobia, living on a house at the edge of a cliff. Olaf later appears disguised as a sea captain named Captain Sham to meddle with the plans again. One day, Josephine is not at the house, leaving an apparent suicide note entrusting them to Captain Sham. Klaus deduces that Olaf forced her to forge the note, but she left a hidden message revealing her location. A hurricane causes the house to fall into the lake. However, the children escape and they sail to the cave where Aunt Josephine is hiding and rescue her, but attract leeches due to Josephine eating a banana. Olaf appears and takes the children, leaving Josephine to be eaten by the leeches. Mr. Poe then finds him with the children, and Olaf pretends to have rescued them. Mr. Poe is fooled and returns the children back to Olaf, believing that he has redeemed himself. Alright, now for the final act and the ending. As always, you know the procedure. You have 5 seconds to stop this video. Go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below. As I count down now, if you've seen the movie already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. Olaf plays, he plans a play titled The Marvelous Marriage, starring Violet and him as a bride and groom, respectively. Klaus's suspicions reveal that Olaf is planning to take advantage of the play to really marry Violet in an attempt to get the fortune, using legally recognized vows and a bona fide justice of the peace. Olaf locks Sunny up in a birdcage, threatening to drop her to her death if Violet refuses to take part in the play. Klaus escapes and finds a hidden tower in Olaf's house, where he discovers a large window with a set of lenses that, if positioned correctly, can focus the rays of the sun. Klaus realizes that Olaf used it to set fire to the Baudelaire mansion. Using the window, Klaus manages to burn the marriage certificate, leading to Olaf's arrest. As a punishment, Olaf is made to suffer every hardship that he forced upon the Baudelaire kids before serving a life sentence. However, a jury of his peers overturns his sentencing and Olaf vanishes. Violet, Klaus, and Sunny are taken to visit the charred remains of their old home one final time. A lost letter from their parents finally arrives, and inside is a spyglass announcing their family secret society before they became orphans. Snicket vanishes, writing his documentation, and hides the papers in the clock tower for his publisher to find. As Mr. Poe drives the Baudelaires to their next home, Snicket concludes that despite the siblings' recent unfortunate events, they have each other. End of story. So, what did I think of the series of unfortunate events? I am going to say this film's pretty good. Kind of underrated, though, but still good, though. Even though it's been some time since I last saw this film, but I do say that I really did enjoy this. I mean, after recently seeing some other films to be based on books and what have you, like Harry Potter, for example, this came out, and I'm gonna say it was not too bad. Well, it did all right and what have you. It went on to make 211 million worldwide against its 140 to 142 million dollar budget. Anyway, it became the highest grossing film under the Nickelodeon Movies banner until The Last Airbender, which I know everybody hates, surpassed it. The film currently sits at 72% on Rotten Tomatoes, saying, although it softens the nasty edges of its source material, the movie is a gothic visual treat, and it features a hilariously manic turn from Jim Carrey as the evil Count Olaf. Metacritic has it a score of 62. The Chicago Tribune praised the production design by Rick Heinrich and Carey's balanced performance as a scene stealer, calling the film exceptionally clever, hilariously gloomy, and bitingly subversive. The Washington Post reasoned over a fellow filmgoer's characterization of Olaf, saying that Olaf is a humorless villain in the book. He's not amusing like Carey at all. To which I would counter, if you can't let Carey be Carey, put someone boring and less expensive in the role. In his various disguises, he's rubbery, inventive, and improvis improvis I'm sorry, I'm getting tongue tied here. Improvisation improvisation You get improvisation. Improv. Please stand by. Okay, now I know. Improv. Improv. Excuse me again. Improvisationally inspired. Sorry, it's hard to pronounce that word. I particularly like this passing imitation of a dinosaur, according to this person who gave the review, Destin Thompson. Ty Burst in the Boston Globe, director Brad excuse me, has essentially made a Tim Burton movie without the weird shafts of adolescent pain. At the same time, Silberling's not a hack like Chris Columbus, and Snicket has more zip and inspired filmcraft than the first two Harry Potter films. The film's no masterpiece, but at least you're in the hands of people who know what they're doing. The movie, like the books, flatters children in its sense that the world is not a perfect place and that anyone who insists otherwise is trying to sell you something. How you deal with the cognitive dissonance of a 125 million Hollywood picture telling you this is up to you. At least there are no Lemony Snicket Happy Meals yet. Well, that's understandable. Nevertheless, the film still got to be a bit of a success and got nominated for a few Academy Awards, winning Best Makeup, which that would be the second time Carrey had been involved in after How the Grinch Stole Christmas 4 years prior. Anyway, the reviews were still positive because, well, they liked the production values, which that was pretty good as a matter of fact. The score, which was done by Thomas Newman, which I thought was very good and what have you, and I liked that. And the performances, particularly Jim Carrey's, but some criticized its comical tone and short length. Well, now the film's not 110% short. But yeah, I could might have used a little bit of extension. It runs under 2 hours at 108 minutes, so they could have made it a little better. But hey, the film's fine and what have you. And I thought it had a few funny moments, especially from Carrey himself. I mean, he's him being an actor and what have you. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, after this, during this, there would be a video game released on PlayStation 2, GameCube, Xbox, Game Boy Advance, and Microsoft Windows from Activision. Now, there was to be a film series like Harry Potter, which Paramount and Nickelodeon were working. Carrey thought his character would be good as the basis for a film franchise since it would allow him to dive into a new role, though he said he didn't have a deal for a sequel. In May of the following year, in 2005, producer Laurie McDonald said Lemony Snicket is still something Paramount is interested in pursuing, and we're going to be talking with them more. Well, there's been talks, but unfortunately, it's kind of been, in a way, canceled and what have you. However, a few years, like a decade after this, Netflix actually had planned a television adaptation of the entire series, which I have yet to even see. In January of 2017, the series of Unfortunate Events TV series premiered, which starred Neil Patrick Harris in the role of Count Olaf. Again, I have yet not seen this show. If you have seen it, is it any good? If so, let me know and maybe I'll look into it one day. But anyway, I thought the film was still good, and I liked the way it looked and what have you. Now, as for our cast, we have Jim Carrey playing the role of Count Olaf, as well as the characters of Stefano and Captain Sham. Very good, and that's another good performance of Mr. Carrey's. Liam Aiken played Klaus, and I really liked his performance. Emily Browning played Violet, another good performance. We have Kara and Shelby Hoffman both playing Sunny, very good. And Jude Law did the voice of Lemony Snicket. But well, did the voice, but background actor James Henderson plays Snicket physically. Playing Mr. Poe is Timothy Spall, who actually recently made his first appearance as Peter Pettigrew, aka Wormtail, in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban a few months before this. We have Catherine O'Hara as Justice Strauss. Very good. Billy Connolly played Dr. Montgomery. He was pretty good. And Meryl Streep played Josephine. They were good. We also have Louis Guzman as the bald head man. Jamie Harris as the hook handed man. They're both minions of Olaf. Craig Ferguson's in this, so it's Jennifer Coolidge and Cedric the Entertainer. Yeah, the list goes on. I gotta say, A Series of Unfortunate Events, the film, I think it's pretty underrated, but I think this film is worth looking into. So would I recommend it? I'd say sure, go ahead. You might enjoy it. Seriously. But anyway, what did you think of Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel. Make it grow and make the views grow. Tell all your friends about my channel. Get them to know me. Maybe they'd like to be a part of my Big D Nation. Share my vids with your friends if you like as well. And again, thanks again for helping me reach 800 subscribers. Thank you again. Join me next time when I bring to you a review of another underrated film, Curly Sue. So if you like this, check out my reviews for some of these other films. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of the film that started all for a big book franchise in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Or if you'd like, go to the upper right-hand corner and see my spoiler-free review of a recent hit film with Catherine O'Hara, and that's Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Or go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my spoiler-free review of Jim Carrey's newest film, Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.